Well, anyhow, I was just sitting here trying to bring you up to date on the week, and we don't have anything really exciting happening. We're down with the kids, Glenn's family, and last evening, and looked at some of Glenn's duck calls that he makes by hand, his own patent. He's bought a man on the internet, had the whistle part. Glenn has to make them out of his own wood, carving and drilling and that sort of thing on the lathe. And then these whistles he inserts into them. But this man had from the Herders Gunning Club, the gunning manufacturer, that went out of business. In fact, they had a big, one of the biggest Herders stores in Mitchell, South Dakota, where we used to stop. Well, everything, Herders closed up. And this man had 3,000 of these things, so Glenn bought a portion of them and might end up buying them all. So that was sort of nice, hearing his new whistle that he makes all different kind of duck calls and this sort of thing. And he is a pro. The Ward Foundation, which is a world-class operation, called him while I was there and wanted him to come with what they call the Little Quackers Duck Club, his son Hunter, and a bunch of other little kids, girls and boys from all over. Glenn has started this club they call the Little Quackers, and they performed at the Ocean City Convention Center in different places. Glenn takes them around, does different things with them into the outdoors, basically. But the Ward Foundation, which is, it costs a lot of money to get in and set up in there. The man wants Glenn free of charge just to come and bring the Little Quacker Club with him and let people see what they do. So that was pretty nice, I thought, and because it's a world-class operation. Well, if I can get Shirley to come back in here, Shirley, I wonder if I could get you to come in here, please. You know how to operate this thing. And before I go, though, we had a real good dinner Monday night. No, I believe it was Sunday night. Shirley bought out of Clear Blue Sky about a week ago. I said, I had a Long Island roast duckling in years and years. So lo and behold, she bought one. She roasted that duck, stuffed it the old-fashioned way, all kind of everything to go with it, and Bill and Sue and Adam and Carl came down and had dinner with us. That was Sunday night, and it was just a real nice affair. Also, she made a lemon cake. I've been up to Tom and Joanne for the first time in a long time, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Anyhow, Joanne had fresh baked orange cake. So I had a slice of that with a glass of milk. And it was very, very good. I told Shirley when I said, honey, I wish you'd make some of that someday, thinking I probably wouldn't get it. Sunday night, guess what? I got the best orange cake. It was just as good as Joanne. Sorry, Joanne. But just as good, and thoroughly enjoyed that. Now let me see if I can get Shirley one more time. Shirley? Oh, Shirley? Oh, Shirley. Well, I don't know. She might have gone into the bathroom or taken a shower. Incidentally, this here Montana thing, getting out to the cabin, is getting pretty hard to do. Shirley and myself have been doing it by ourselves for the last few years, and it takes a long time, and it's very, very tiresome on a guy with a bad heart condition. And Shirley tries to help out her driving, and we've been making it. And a lot of times, she'd never have been on the road, but I don't know how it's going to go this year, and it really it just breaks my heart because it's part of my whole life, and has been for the past 30 years. Or 30-something years. And when we were raised there for a while, and when I was a kid, just sort of fell in love with it, and you got that old right at the time when you're at the age where you really either appreciate something or you don't. I fell in love with Montana then when I was a little kid and sort of never got over it. So we started going out there again in the late 60s, I believe, or 70. I finally bought some land up in an old gold town that used to produce gold in the mines up in Maiden Canyon, Montana, back in 1800s, 1890s. And we have 3 acres of the original town. There's nothing left now but a few, very few old shacks and this sort of thing. But a lot of memories. And we've had so many good times. We've, over the years, Tom, my brother, was living in Lewistown, and he had a lumber mill, him and another guy. So we got together on prices, and for $500, I bought the lumber, and Tom picked it out pretty good. He thought it was top notch, Montana fir lumber. So he had it stacked at his house, and when I went out on vacation, I only had 2 weeks each year from my insurance job as an insurance agent, and I would hustle out there long weekends in both ends and in a couple of weeks, and literally try to kill myself working. Tom helped some and done different things, but I trucked all that up the mountain in a little old Toyota pickup. And my son Glenn, he's only about 7 years old. He was wild about swinging a hammer to the point at night he pretty near would cry if I made him come down off the roof if we were starting, build a cabin and so forth. Valerie helped a little bit, and she helped some. And of course Shirley with her left hand, right hand, everything. But we, over all those years, had a tremendous time, and then I decided to have a massive heart attack in about 10 years later, in 1982, and that slowed the whole ball game down, needless to say. But we continued going out there. We only missed 1 year. Sometime we'd go in the spring and the fall most time. 1 year we went 3 times, the year that Kenny died. I'd already been on my way out to Montana, and I was in Wyoming when I found out about Kenny, and I called home, and so we had to turn around, and it was the saddest thing that ever happened. Took him back home to someone that was part of my life, period. I'm not going to get into that, but it just was, and it was such a sad thing. After I stuck around for a while, and then I took right back out to Montana in the fall. So that the year we went 3 times. But we've been very lucky, very fortunate, and thankful that we got to do all that time. And the kids, when they were growing up, we'd take them out. Sometimes 6 of them, all 6 of them in the back of an old van, peanut butter and bologna sandwiches and that sort of thing. And it was a long, hot drive back in them days, but I think there was a lot of memories for the whole family made, and I wouldn't take nothing for those days. But now I'm getting older. I hate like hell to admit it, but it just hurts, and you can't do the things you want to do. Even if you want to, you get a good day, bad days, and I'm not complaining, but I'm sort of irritated in a way, you want to do things and feel like, just like Montana, that was my whole life. And now it's sort of really slowing down to the point of, wondering when I'm going to get back up there to maybe driving old nails are starting coming out. That cabin's going on 30 years old now, just about 30. And it's held up very well, considering. And it's just a little rough cabin, no convenience, but it's wonderful for what I wanted. And over the years, we've had get-together there. Harlan and Iris have flown out for us, and we'd have get-togethers. And then Kenny and Bill and Tom and myself, just us men, went out 1 year in the fall. And Had a real good time. I think that about 1989 for the centennial, Montana centennial. I believe 89. And then way back in the 70s, Bill Todd and Harlan and myself went out with Bill Todd and station wagon. Had a really good time. The cabin was really rough then. We slept on the floor, any old place you did, because the cabin wasn't done by no means. And it's an ongoing working type thing that we had there for about 30 years. And it's still ongoing. And some of these kids don't start get ongoing. I'm going to be gone, and I'm afraid the cabin will too. So anyhow, one year, I believe, it was June of 91. We went out, and Harlan, again, and Iris, and Forrest. Maybe this is the first time. I'm not sure they come. Let's see. But anyhow, they come out, and Kenny said he was coming. Well, Bill went out, and just Bill himself, with Tom. Bill and Tom went together. And then Shirley and myself, we were already out there. And we got there hard, and then we'll stay after yoga. They flew in out of Denver. And we'd plan on a big get-together up there. And Kenny told me before he left, he said, I'm going to try to be there. And guaranteeing nothing. He said, but don't look in your mirror. You look in your mirror and you see me, you know, I'm on my way. Anyhow, that afternoon, all the women and my sister Elsie come down from Seattle. Tilly Stout from Pennsylvania, Elsie's old girlfriend that lived in Florida. She come up. A couple old friends, ranchers, the Duffy boys, Chess Duffy and Dave Duffy, they're old-time ranchers when we were kids, a lot older than me. But Bill and Elsie, of course, run around together. And then there was Glenn Franklin, Charlie Lillick, Ethel. I don't know if Barbara and Keith Chris come up, but different people come up, and Charlie Lillick, and I believe Chuck Lucer and his wife, they all come with their granddaughter. And the women had a lot of food to eat, and we had a lot of plenty of good stuff to drink. Hot and cold. Well, time was slipping away there, and about 1 o'clock, all I could think about, boy, I hope old Kenny comes. By God, I looked up there. Here come, you had I believe she was an 86 maroon Thunderbird. Here he comes, and Mary Jane. Had their guitars. And boy, you don't think we partied. We got videos of it. It was one of the greatest get-together ever was, as far as in my small little world. It was absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't have went to the biggest concert in the world that would have made me feel any better. And it was fun. But, you know, in 1991, when this all happened, I looked at a video just the other night of Montana, that very get-together, and I looked around in there. Kenny's passed away. Dave Duffy's wife was killed in a snowmobile, turned over on her and was killed. Charlie Lillick had passed away with cancer, and Glenn Franklin passed away with cancer. And when I was watching, it really brings you down, knowing how quick things change, and they'll never come back. But you always got the old, you got the memories, you know, and everybody says that's what you got to hold on to. Well, that's all you're going to get anyhow. But I'm just letting you hear a couple little things that transpired here in the last few years. And I know Elsie, when she was come down for that get-together, that was so nice, and she'd been sick and all kind of things. And her husband, Bob, he had passed away. He was the greatest guy there ever was. But he'd been up there when I bought the land. In fact, him and Elsie witnessed the purchase of the land from old, I can't even think of the man's name. Had the Mint Bar in Lewistown. There used to be a Montana surveyor, but he owned all that land up in there. And but these just a few memories, and my children, my God, Terry's been out with us at least 3 times, 2 or 3 times. One time before she got married to Reg, she wanted to get away, and Terry and Shirley and myself went, and I believe Glenn, a long time ago. And then over the years, Terry and Reg, Megan went. One year, just Terry and Megan went with us. When I had the old high-top Ford van, and then over the year, the Terrys went back another time, her and Reg, and